times. Let's move on to Martha McSally, though, because she's the senator. She was walking down through the hall, and a reporter from CNN tried to ask her a question. This is what she said to him. Listen.
Senator McSally, should the Senate consider new evidence as part of the impeachment trial?
Man, you're a liberal hack. I'm not talking to you.
You are a liberal hack, as she said, of Manu Raju, who is the correspondent on Capitol Hill for CNN. She was asked about it last night, whether or not, because there are a number of people at CNN, including Wolf Blitzer and others, who are calling for an apology, and she doubled down. Listen to this, Geraldo.
These CNN reporters, but many of them around the Capitol, they are so biased. They are so in cahoots with the Democrats. They so can't stand the president, and they run around trying to chase, Republicans and ask trapping questions. I'm a fighter pilot. I called it like it is, and that's what we see out of the mainstream media, and especially CNN, every single day. So obviously, I'm gonna tell the truth, and I did it today, and it's laughable how they've responded.
Well, they were saying.
Geraldo, it sounds like she is making the case of what we have observed over the last couple of decades, and that is, once upon a time, they were straight reporters in the halls of Congress and, everywhere. If you were on the news, no opinion. Here we are, 2020, a lot of opinion.
Sounds like there might be some history there, too.
Well, there may be, Allison, but...
Ainsley.
That's the second time in my career I've done that. But you know what happened, Ainsley? I gave up alcohol in a vow last week that I wouldn't drink until the president was acquitted, and I think it's really thrown off my time. my deepest apology.
Another reason for a speedy trial.
Your liver thanks you.
You can call me most anything.
In terms of the statement made by Senator McSally, truth is not an absolute defense to rudeness. He is a guy just trying to do his job. And even though everything she's saying about CNN has become true, sadly, in my view, 80, 90% of it anyway, as being anti-Trump and pro-Democrat, I think that the senator, in the majesty of that office, there's only 100 of them. It's the most exclusive club in the world. I think she can blow them off in a more genteel way. But, I certainly I honor her service. She's a fighter pilot. She's a scrapper.
I understand how you're harassed every day.
Yeah, and Geraldo, what if he's written stuff about her that she didn't agree with? Maybe she took some. We don't know, but it sounds like they have some sort of a history. She would.
Right, because she referred to him as a hack rather than a straight journalist.
What if he is a liberal hack, Geraldo?
I don't see Manu Raju as a hack. I think that their mandate from their boss, Jeff Zucker, is to do everything you can to destroy Donald Trump.
Okay, so
I think
your
that's been their mandate since the first.
Is hatchery, and as a result, you're out there as a hatchet man. Maybe you are a hack, whether you're willful or not. He's got his marching orders, right?
Listen, I certainly understand, Pete, that sentiment. I just believe that when you get to be a senator, there's something about that job that should carry with it. I mean, then our problem as a nation is this awful division. I want the president, who has done an amazing job with the economy, and he's included everybody in this huge economic upsurge and this renewal, black unemployment at record lows, Hispanic unemployment at record lows. I think this is a time I would love to see the president not exactly turn the other cheek. He'll never do that. I've known him forever. He'll never do it. But exhibit to the American people that he's the president of all the people, and he wants to bring us together like Reagan did, the shining city on the hill and all that stuff. And I think that when a senator says, you're nothing but a piece of crap, true or untrue, I'd rather that was an editorial comment by someone in the left-wing or right-wing media rather than a senator of the United States. That's just my thing.
Well, it was an interchange like we haven't heard before up on Capitol Hill, and that's why we played it today. Check out Geraldo on Fox Nation with I Am Geraldo, exclusively.
I am Geraldo. 50 years. 50 years.
I love it. Voiced over by Steve Doocy.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you, Geraldo.
Good luck with the no drinking part.
Thank you.